What's going on, sports card hobby family? It's another day. It's another sports card video. Thanks very much for joining me here today. We've got a fun one. We're going to look at 2024. Man, it's going to be a wild ride. Today we're going to talk about hobby content, third-party grading, manufacturing stuff, all the things. So make sure you stick around. How the heck is everybody doing today? A couple of quick housekeeping notes. I have got a doppelganger, or one of those people, I don't know, it's a he or she, that is going around using my logo in their account, and they're commenting on different things, and they're in chats and throwing out different stuff. And it's not me. So I did put a post on my community post there just to kind of watch out for it. He commented on an SCV sports cards video, and then SCV posted about it all, angry and stuff, and then we emailed back and forth, sorted it all out. But it was just kind of funny. So I felt like, okay, at this point I should probably just kind of put something out. This has been going on for years, but this is happening a little bit more and more. I'm starting to see this pop up. And so just a quick announcement. If it's not at the Sports Card Dad handle, if it's something else, which a lot of times there's a bunch of different aliases out there, but if you see my logo on an account, don't assume that it's me that's commenting. I do watch hobby live streams, but I very rarely comment in the chat. So if it's in the chat, it's probably not me. And I do comment on videos here and there, but again, I'm not a big time commenter. So just wanted to throw that out there. Huge shout out to today's video sponsor, Whatnot. Maybe you want to go to the card show, but you're like, I don't want to leave the couch today. Well, you can very easily just pick up your phone, go on the Whatnot app, and you have access to singles of all types, and frankly, collectibles of all types on the Whatnot app, the largest live streaming service on the planet for sports cards and collectibles. Definitely check them out. I've got a link in the video description as well as in the pinned comments below. How do we top the bonanza that was 2023 in the sports card hobby? I don't know, but there are so many loose ends, so many things that have not been sorted out hobby-wise, that 2024 is bound to be a big year on the news side, on the hobby drama side. It is sure to be.
Y'all fake, y'all busters. What? Huh, blah, blah. Yeah, y'all don't even belong in the hobby. Y'all don't even really have your own PC. Blah, blah. What you gonna do? Huh.
Let's first start off with the obvious one, Panini and Fanatics. Will they settle? Will they finally figure out their stuff? Will Panini sell to them?
Guess what? Because you're poor.
They're in gridlock right now. If you look at kind of the court documents as to the timeline, it's literally like a 2.5 year deal. So I don't know if at 2025, by the time they get done with court, the licenses will be up and Fanatics will have them anyways. And so I've got to assume that there's some sort of middle ground that is had here at some point, and maybe it's a year from now.
But unfortunately, it cooled down in May, and then continued to cool down in June, and then continued to cool down in July.
It's probably not going to be tomorrow, but at some point you've got to assume that they settle their differences in some capacity. But I guess we'll have to see. Fanatics has taken a lot of heat right now for backdoored copies that are going out. Now, I will say though, this one-of-one Bowman draft stuff that's happening, there's also Panini cards that this particular seller has as well. And so this is a printing press problem, not necessarily someone sneaking it out the back door at the Topps headquarters or whatever. I don't know, but it's a printing press issue. Someone is sneaking these out somehow, and they're getting out onto the secondary market. And we know that because there's also Panini cards that are the same. There's like numbered out of 5 stuff. We have got to get it sorted out. This is the big one in 2024, I think, from a manufacturing side. Fanatics has shown they've got marketing on lock, so we don't have to worry about the marketing part. The part we do have to worry about, though, is integrity of the cards, integrity of the rarity and scarcity. Look, if people are spending thousands, tens of thousands, maybe even 6 figures to get into a one-of-one card, it better damn be one-of-one. It's got to be that one. It can't be a fake. It can't be a backdoor. It can't be this or that or whatever. It's got to be the real thing, or else it just sucks the air out of this thing. You're trying to kind of set up for the big chase. look, the industry has moved that way, and it doesn't look like Fanatics Topps is going to change that, or Panini for that matter. It's going after the big chase. It's the breaks. It's the repacks. It's all that stuff seems to be the current, present, and the future of the hobby. I don't see that changing.
He took out two of the cards, and one was a 1951 Mickey Mantle, which was his rookie, and one was a 1951 Willie Mays, which was his rookie. And he said to me, "I'll buy these two cards from you." And I said, "For how much?" And he said, $15. And I thought that was unbelievable. $15 for two baseball cards. I mean, you could buy boxes of cards for that much money. So I sold him the two cards, which today would be worth over $10,000.
Third-party grading. What's going to happen on the third-party grading side? We've got the big four, which I would say are SGC, channel partner sponsor, SGC, PSA, obviously the king as far as volume goes.
The Empire is on the verge of success.
CGC cards, and then we've got Beckett out there. They are all doing well. Now, I can't see their financials, so I don't know if they're doing well financially, but in terms of volume of cards that they are grading, they're doing more than they ever have before, most of these companies. Third-party grading is red hot. Will that continue into 2024? It seems like people really enjoy, I think with grading prices coming back down, I think maybe we really underestimate the amount of people that came in during the pandemic, kind of hung around a little bit because prices shot way high. Grading was, put on pause. And then, of course, grading prices, what was it? $50, $75 to grade a card. Now we've come all the way back where grading is affordable, frankly. You can argue the points of, is it adding value to the cards and this, that, or whatever. But regardless of all of that, it is affordable. It's affordable again, and it's clear that people enjoy buying raw cards or cracking other slabs, sending them in. They enjoy this process. They enjoy kind of the what if of will this card get a 10? Will any of the grading companies leapfrog another, make moves? If we look at Beckett, they're just kind of spinning around, but you know what? They're still grading a fair amount of cards. They are still doing pretty well. Again, don't know the financials, but from a number standpoint, they're just they're moving along. CGC is mostly grading TCG cards. They are not grading too many sports cards. So CGC is kind of that one that's hanging around there. On the sports card side, they're just not doing a whole lot. SGC, of course, channel partner sponsor. I'm biased. Know my biases. They have ascended. They have ascended over the last 2 years. PSA and SGC grade the most sports cards on Earth currently. We've got other outlier companies. We've got, Tag Grading that's hanging out there. There's, Arena Club is selling repacks, but they also do grading. I think HGA is still out there, somewhere lurking in the shadows. So what will happen with third-party grading in 2024? It's going to be fun to watch. Card shows. Card shows have not slowed down a bit. In 2023, attendance was at all-time highs. This past national that we just went to in Chicago was the most attended show of all time, beating 1991 Anaheim, the last big boom in cards. Now you have a lot more players. You have a lot more corporate money. There is a lot more eyeballs on this thing. And again, I think, I don't remember if I already said this in the video, so apologies, but I think that we really underestimated my demographic, the amount of people that have gotten back into not just cards, but collectibles as a whole. Because if you look around comic books, video games, all this stuff, the meat of this is 35 to 50. This age group is doing a lot in collectibles these days. It's a lot of nostalgia that's come roaring back. And it started with the pandemic, or just kind of slightly, for me it was 2018, so slightly before the pandemic, but you really started to see a rollout of more and more of the remake of the 80s, 90s stuff, a lot more attention put on just nostalgia as a whole for our generation. And I personally think that we've got at least a couple of decades left of interest from my generation. We still have people, and I know from just comments in my videos, and when I see on social media, there's still 40-year-olds that are just finding this now. There's new people coming in all the time. Yes, people come and they go. It's a hobby. It's like fishing. Sometimes you're out there and you're fishing every weekend for a year, and then sometimes you don't fish for a couple years for whatever reason. This is a hobby. So you're going to have people coming in and out. You might have some people that are buying super high-end cards, and you might have some people that just do dollar boxes once a year. They're still in the hobby. These are all people that are hobbying with us. So card shows have not slowed down. I think affordability plays a big role. I talk about this, but my local Raleigh card show, it's $5 to get in. My youngest son gets in free. It's $5 for us to go spend a couple hours, look at cards, talk to people, talk sports, talk about non-sports stuff. We picked up Ghostbusters cards when we were there last time. It's just a good time. It's a couple hours of entertainment for $5. You can't beat it. And a lot of even the larger shows, it's not crazy. It's not crazy to go attend those shows. You know, Philly Card Show or whatever. What is it, 10, 15, 20 bucks a day? I mean, that's like a movie ticket. You know, I mean, it's inexpensive to go and just hang out and spend time with like-minded people. Card shows are on a tear. Fanatics events is supposed to be coming. What's that going to be like? You know, is that going to be something that takes the place of card shows, or is it going to be an addition to it? Will there be more B2B type stuff given the rise in corporate presence within sports cards and collectibles as a whole? When you look at this last national, a lot of new companies that are coming along. There's a lot of companies spending big money on marketing. Will there be more B2B events, kind of like, you know, you have the annual Tops and you had the Mint Collective. I don't know if they're doing the Mint Collective again. You know, so there's a lot of question marks around B2B next year, but card shows as a whole are just trucking along. Speaking of new company startups, will there be a new disruptor? Will there be new companies that come in? I do hear about new companies that are popping up here and there. Will there be someone that can really disrupt what we already have? You know, you do have people that'll say like, hey, look, God, we have enough auction houses. We have enough grading companies. You know, we have enough of this, that, or whatever. And that could very well be true. You know, I mean, there's only so much money to go around. And I know that people, you know, they're passionate about the hobby and they want to also make a living in it. So it makes sense that you'd have people that are kind of grinding to come up with ideas and to come out with new companies and new products. And so I understand that push. But will we see some hobby companies go away? I think there's going to probably be some turnover in 2024 where we have some that kind of fade a little bit. But again, new companies coming back in. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Hobby content seems to be slowing down, is what I've seen. There's people that are shutting it down, shutting down the old content machine.
This business quickly became a lot of work.
It can really be a grind, even if you're really into collectibles, even if you're really into it. The making content part isn't fun for everybody. For myself and some of the other folks that do the daily stuff, we actually do enjoy making the content, putting it out, and the editing and all the stuff that goes into it. It's not a chore for me. It's an extension of my hobby experience. But there's also amazing collectors that have amazing collections that have a lot of knowledge and etc. They just don't like doing it. They're not going to do it every day. They're not going to do it every week. And that's perfectly okay. But I definitely have seen a slowdown in hobby content here over the last little bit, kind of rounding out 2023. And I do think it is a lot of content that was focused around making plays and flips. You know, I saw Card Talk Pod was one. It's Lou, Tyler, and Ryan Card Collector 2, and a lot of like F1 and soccer talk and plays and stuff. 2 years ago, popular because, yeah, that's kind of what everybody was doing. There was a lot of volatility. There was a lot of flipping going on. I also haven't seen near as much of the show vlog flip stuff. Just haven't seen it here over the last few months. Maybe it's just because card shows have slowed down over the last few weeks. It's end of year time. But in general, I saw that content slow down quite a bit on the back half of 2023. I wonder if that'll pick back up or not. We'll have to understand too that it goes in waves, what's popular and what's not popular. You know, you can have a certain segment that you've got locked down that you really enjoy making, that people enjoy watching, and a year from now, no one's going to care about it. And so there is some adaptability. There is a part where if you're going to be consistent, you have to really enjoy what you're doing, and then also finding stuff that other people want to watch as well, kind of molding those two together. It can be really tricky to do that, especially if the niche that you're working in, that you enjoy making, doesn't become popular anymore, and then, you know, views go way down, maybe you lose interest in doing it. That's perfectly natural, and that's something that is a big challenge for content creators on YouTube in general, not even just in cards. And lastly, we'll hit on just the absolute rise of repacks and breaking. A lot of controversy around it, really. Is it good for the hobby? Is this the entryway that we want? I've made my feelings known on this topic, but I think with breaking and repacks, the one thing that I'm seeing, though, is if you look at the big companies, they're just doubling down on this. I'm not seeing any slowdown in 2024 of breaking or repacks. I think, if anything, it might be more and more of it. And I think just as hobbyists, we have to figure out how we're going to participate. For some, there might be a specific repack, there might be a specific breaker, there might be a specific whatever that you enjoy doing. But I do think that it's eyes wide open and buyer beware, and everyone's just got to be, you know, head on a swivel. But it's not just with breakers and repacks, it's with grading, it's with buying singles on a marketplace. It's everywhere. You know, understand what we're dealing with here. There are a lot of risks in the collectibles space with scammers, fraudsters, etc. So just be careful out there, my friends, as we head into 2024. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.